It is Wednesday, and you are listening or watching RawMikeRichards.com. If you want to subscribe to the YouTube channel, I would suggest that. That is a very good idea. And subscribe to RawMikeRichards.com right on the website. It will pay off, trust me. As we find ourselves looking at yet another night of no hockey and surprise, surprise, no basketball game last night. It is tonight in Cleveland, game number 3.
Hey, let me ask you this, because we're kind of in the same situation with the TVs and what the hell we're watching. What are you watching at night now?
Well, I catch up on a lot of the recorded shows so that I haven't seen, right?
Exactly. It's honestly, it's catch-up nights on these, because the Jays are playing late at night. You're probably not really watching anything more than the first couple innings at most.
And I'm not, I got to be honest, Oakland.
That doesn't excite me. I'm sorry.
I'm not watching it.
And you know what? It's embarrassing what the Jays are actually doing in Oakland. I mean, all the goodwill that you've kind of made up here. You split a good series with the New York Yankees. It was great baseball. 4 nights of 40,000 plus. And then you go to Oakland and you crap the bed on the first 2 games where, by rights, we should be talking about a Blue Jay team this morning that is over 500. Now they're 3 games back of 500. And if the Oakland A's win this afternoon, the Oakland A's actually have a better record than the Blue Jays. That makes no sense.
No, and that's why, we're what, basically a third? Are we getting close to a third of the season?
Yeah, we're about 60 games in.
Yeah, we're creeping into it, and therefore the discussion of whether you're a buyer or a seller. And I still hear this talk about how the checkbook is going to come out in Toronto, and they're going to start taking a look at maybe who they may want to buy. I'm thinking, buy? Like, then you're going to find yourself, if this is the mentality, and I can't believe it is, and I don't buy into, public and fan pressure. If that's how you operate your business, I don't like your chances of being successful.
Ever.
But Dave, they are not in a let's go all in. For instance, if you're the Boston Red Sox, seeing how their season has turned around, then you know historically they don't mind getting out the checkbook. And would this be a year where they think they might want to do it? Yeah, but I still think it's a discussion on where they believe they're going to go, because the Yankees right now, who basically they have chased down, the Yankees still have what is considered to be a very bright future. So you're going to see years of New York Yankee success. So if you're the Boston Red Sox, do you go after them now? That's your question. If you're Boston, do you think this is the year that you would have the better chance of being competitive and better than New York, or is it the following years? I think it's now.
Yeah, it's more now than anything else. But you know what we're looking at too with the Boston Red Sox and Yankees, where there's some nice young players on the Red Sox as well. They're going to dominate the standings for the next 5 years. So maybe from a Jays perspective, because they're such an old team, maybe they're looking at it going, okay, one more shot. Maybe they are legitimately buyers. It's a tough pill to swallow, because you look at that and you go, well, they're already 6 games back. Wild card spot. There's a lot of teams ahead of them. They're still on the chase. Like, I'm not going to rule them out. They're 3.5 games back of a wild card, 6 games back of a division title. So, and we're talking here on June the 7th. So
exactly,
it's not like we're September 7th.
Put it this way. It's just like when I hear teams who consider it a success if you're in the NHL and you're like the 8th seed.
Yeah,
you get the sort of the second wild card spot. In the, I guess, the chronological positioning of where you believe your franchise is. So if I'm looking at the Maple Leafs and they got the 8th seed this year, well, it's a success because they were last the previous year
in the entire league. Yeah.
So now you're playing with house money. So that is a huge accomplishment and a success. But if you're where the Blue Jays are, which means you're middle ground at best, or as they say, mid-table if you want to use a soccer term, why would you then go and try to buy something when you know deep down you're not better than the Yankees, even though you had a hell of a homestand? You're looking at a Boston team that is now starting to find its legs because they also had a horrible April. This would not be the year. This might be the year to say, okay, if we're going to compete in the next 4 to 5 years against a Yankee team,
you tear it down.
At least you've got to start looking at where that's going to be, because if you don't sell now, we know that historically players generally don't get stronger and more athletic as they get older.
AKA the Jerome McGinley effect.
Yeah. I mean, you've got to sit there and go, all right, am I going to get more for my, the bigger bang for my buck if I start selling You know, and who could those players be on the list? I mean, I don't think Donaldson can be available
Well, he's your number one asset, right?
because he's still look, and he's the only guy playing so far in the last 2 or 3 games since he came back.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, and now they have Devin Travis on the DL, which hurts them because he had arguably one of the best months of any Blue Jay in recent history in the month of May. That was tremendous. Kendrys Morales has a couple years left on his contract because they just signed him. He might be a good import bat for somebody, but you'd have to commit to him for a following season. I don't think anybody's interested on Russell Martin's $20 million a year contract.
No.
Troy Tulowitzki, same thing, $20 million for the next couple of years. Outside of that, what are you selling? Are you selling like a Marco Estrada? That's a possibility. That's a rental. He's up at the end of the season. Are you selling a Jay Happ? Maybe if he gets back in order and he's healthy again. A Francisco Liriano, possibly, but Francisco Liriano isn't going to really command too much.
No.
There's going to be some value in Marco Estrada, but outside of that, Mike, there's slim pickings on this team.
You've got to build because you know what's in front of you. And then what sits in front of you is a Boston and a New York team that are going to be, well, they're good now, and they're only going to get better. Here's an excellent boring highlight from Oakland. See, this is why I wouldn't stay up.
On the ground, Tulowitzki has a
There's a
kickoff.
ground ball.
After a dive, and the A's are going to have the lead.
Oh, my.
So it'll be a hit for Rosales.
Rosales.
Comes in to score 2-1 Athletics.
I think that's what they call a seeing eye single. And, Dave, that's an exciting highlight from Oakland. Is at the Alameda Coliseum. By the way, brought to you by Major League Baseball. That's their property.
I do, you know what? I do like the Oakland jerseys.
Oh, they're classic.
They're awesome.
There's something to be said about classic jerseys.
And I hope they never leave. I also like the gold ones. Gold ones are great. Those ones are great. It's an awesome, but it's a really bad team.
It's a bad team. And I'll say something else about those unis, too. You better be wearing the socks up nice and high on that one.
Yes, and white shoes, too.
Yeah, and white shoes, no Man Ram pajama pants. Not with those. You can maybe do with the other uniforms, but not those ones. Those look pretty good. And yes, white shoes would be the order of the day. Now, also looking at baseball, you think you sort of understand just where certain players are, and then Scooter Gennett. It's like if you were playing
He had a career month yesterday, Mike.
Xbox. It's like you're playing Xbox. You're like, oh my God, I don't think I'm this good. You probably aren't this good. What, do you have 3 home runs in 56 games? And then decided, nope, I want to be the best player in the world last night.
Bases loaded. Gennett waiting. Got a fastball. And bye-bye, baby!
And this ball hammered into right center field, and it's a long 4-run, 2-run home run. Scooter Gennett, have a night, young man.
Yeah. Gets better. Ooh.
Hits it the other way down the left field line, and this ball is gone.
Wow. Number 3.
3 home run night, Scooter Gennett.
And boom goes the dynamite.
Liner to right field. Gennett, the first run ever with 4 home runs in a game. Can you believe it?
Okay, here's the interesting thing about that. He's the first Red to do that, Dave, on a Red team that back in the 70s, you look at the names on the back of those jerseys. The one that's going to appear as the guy who has the record for 4 homers in a game, the last name's going to say Gennett.
Not bad, eh? Even ahead of a guy like, a Johnny Bench,
yes.
a Pete Rose, a Joe Morgan, an Eric Davis. I mean, there's been some awesome players. It's funny because if you're doing the math here, entering the game, the guy has 3 home runs. Now he has 7. He had 20 RBIs, which is okay, utility guy. Now he has 30. So it's like the numbers are severely juiced. That's once in a lifetime, man. That's never going to happen again.
10 RBI.
17 total bases, and the guy was claimed on waivers from the Brewers back on March the 28th. He was a waiver wire claim.
He's got to start talking in third person in the clubhouse in front of some of the bigger names, too.
Good name, too, eh, Scooter?
Yeah.
Hey, Scooter.
Yeah, so he goes in front of Joey Votto and goes, hey, Votto, Scooter's thirsty.
Scooter's
Beg your pardon?
thirsty.
Scooter's thirsty. How's about throwing that water bottle over here? Don't hurt yourself.
It's single pistol, too.
While we talked about Boston, they also had another nice night. They beat the Yankees 5-4. So, again, there's a lot of bloodletting right now in the top of the American League East. And for the Yankees, they're probably sweating a little bit. But once again, you find the Bo Sox on a run. And this is a dinger by who? Who hit this home run? Well, it was Scooter's cousin. No, it wasn't. It was,
It may have been.
yeah, I don't know. Here's someone hitting a home run.
And Tanaka trying to make it a fast fifth. There's a drive.
Ooh.
Forget about this one. Watch it sail.
Look at that thing.
Way up there into that second deck.
Oh, my.
Red Sox going yard again. Benintendi unleashing
Benintendi.
a shot. And after hitting 2
Adam,
on
yep.
Sunday, the off day did nothing to interrupt him as he blasts another one here tonight.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Wow is right. Once again, property. of
Andrew,
Major League
yeah,
Baseball.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know what? One of those younger players that we're talking about with the Boston Red Sox, a developing player too. So, we're talking about a guy that still has rookie status, a guy that's probably going to be part of the Red Sox picture for years to come and kind of combat what the Yankees have because they've stocked up. This guy's only 22 years old, still has a lot of life in him and having a nice year, eight home runs, 31 RBI. He's batting, 275-ish. An everyday starter for the Boston Red Sox.
It'll be interesting to see as we get closer to that trade deadline what exactly you think that Boston is going to need to push them over. Because, again, I think if you're looking at buying and selling, if you're going to buy, is there a purchase out there for a player that puts you over the top? Because really what you're talking about, I think invariably, is going against the Yankees. And, again, this is why I wouldn't include the Blue Jays. I don't think if you're Boston, New York, you're like, what do we need to beat the Blue Jays? I don't think it's a conversation.
No, it isn't.
I don't think it is.
It isn't. The only thing right now they're kind of concerned about maybe the Baltimore Orioles because the Orioles, again, and we've had this conversation off and on for the last 3 years.
Every
it's like,
year.
what the hell are they doing here?
Yeah.
They're not supposed to be here,
yeah.
and they're still there. Like, let's not forget, even last year, if Edwin Encarnacion doesn't hit that home run, the Orioles win that wild card game, and they're the team that advances. So, I mean, they've always been in the mix, and they'll continue to be in the mix just because of what they have on the offensive side of the field.
Speaking of Bill Cosby,
Yes, speaking of.
you know what? I don't even want to. I don't ever want to know as much detail about some of the stuff that's going on because you think you know it, but you don't. The details of it are pretty awful, and I thought maybe I'd even read what some of the women are saying that he did, and
This guy's brutal.
let's see if this. I wonder if this brings back any memories for people. Russell, you never saw this show. I'm pretty sure that.
I'm surprised
that's
Russell
one
knew
of-
who Bill Cosby was.
Yeah, this is. Oh, this must have been towards the end. Oh yeah. Do you remember this at all? Okay, so when you think of Bill Cosby, what do you picture him? How do you picture him? What is it?
The pudding commercials and that stupid, ridiculous dance at the beginning of the Cosby
And the
Show.
faces.
And the
Yeah.
faces, yeah.
Would you think of the Jell-O pudding pops with the smile and the razzle dazzle on your face?
Oh, and you know what? You know what else? You know what else? Fat Albert voice.
Oh yeah,
I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's also a classic.
Because
But,
yeah, and it's like now it's like
look at the face now though.
no, you know what? You're the biggest creep
Yeah.
in the world.
Yeah,
That's
turn
what
around,
you
take a look
are.
at that face.
Oh, I see
Yeah,
it.
you
I
can
got,
see-
I got it
that's,
right in front of
that's
me.
awesome.
Captain Creep.
I'm gonna give you
What a piece of
a
garbage.
pudding pop with a couple of pills, and then we're gonna do a funny dance.
Boy, has that gone downhill. Geez, he was like such an influence on so many comedians, and now, like just the stories, you can't even
And there's
like-
so many of them too, right?
Well, 60 women. Think about it in your lifetime. Would there be a woman or two in my past who would have something to say about me that I'd be a little afraid of? Off the top of my head,
Are you-
it could be 3 or 4.
so you're going under 60. Is that what- is
but-
that-
but-
is that what you're saying?
It would be a stretch to think 10. And again, when you're in high school, you do stupid stuff.
Sure.
Here's a bad one I did.
Yep. Uh-oh.
Let's play more Cosby music because this is very fitting
Yes.
for what I'm
Yes,
what,
it's-
definitely what I'm talking about here.
It's tremendous.
There was a girl that I saw that I broke up with over the phone on Valentine's Day.
Ooh.
Yeah. See, I would think but there was another girl up in Newmarket that I just had to see. Newmarket, Ontario, and Newmarket girls I liked. Kind of like talking about Calgary girls because they're pretty good too.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you'd like to admit?
No.
Oh, wow.
No.
Look, that was one of my not as painful ones either.
Honestly, the Valentine's Day stuff, yeah, that's tough, man.
Yeah.
Also, like around Christmas, that's tough because everybody sits
'cause
there
they're
in a
waiting for the
couple
Christmas
days. Like,
present.
oh yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
guys, I know guys try to get out of it just because they don't want to get the gift.
Russell's told me about that. Yeah, he's
Yes.
key for prior to birthdays, prior to Christmases or anything like that, because you save yourself anywhere between. Well, Russell's told me anywhere between $30 and $40. He said.
Well, if you broke a lot of girls, here, grab that microphone for a second. Just go to the shot like the other day because people really like that. Go to the shot the other day because I think it's important that people actually see as you're telling a very emotional story that they understand who's telling the story. And of course, it's Russell Graham, our technical director. That's what he used to call himself. And so, did you ever do anything bad in high school or well, I don't think you've been in university long enough to actually
Do anything
bad. No, I
bad
don't
yet?
think so. I think so.
Here we go.
But have you ever just admit to the camera?
Here we go.
Is there a girl right now as you look into the camera that you'd like to say sorry to? You're right. Yeah.
Are we
Just
on
look at that camera right there.
Are we
Just-
on the shot too?
Yeah.
We're on the right shot.
Yeah.
eh?
So
Oh, okay,
is
okay.
there someone you want to say sorry to?
Honestly, none that.
Oh.
Not one.
Okay, why do you?
You've always
so
been
so
nice.
you're lying on camera? Is that what you're saying?
You're a great boyfriend. You're not a great boyfriend.
I've just never really committed to anything, so
Hey, are you?
Oh,
Are you? So you're
you
not
s-
seeing anybody right now?
I am not.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah.
single.
Yeah. Right there.
Single right here.
Yeah. Is that microphone on? You're just smacking.
Uh,
Just turn it. Talk into it.
We met
No,
her.
it's on.
We met his mom yesterday. Awesome mom.
Jess is saying she can't even hear you. Jess, do you want to come in here too? Because
So-
Maybe I'll turn
okay, let's just this is live. Try that now.
that up.
Oh,
Is that-
that's
is
so
that-
much
is that-
better.
is that better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Better.
So single guy.
Single.
Great mom.
Fantastic mom.
You know,
fantastic
we,
mom.
We met her yesterday.
Yeah.
Might be the prize of the show right here.
See, all of a sudden Russell starts saying, and then all of a
Roast
sudden, look,
beef.
there's Jess, and there's another pretty girl in here. See what's going on? See what happened just because you did that? Holy shit! You're
Have
like
that effect on people.
you're like the Ryerson Burt Reynolds.
Way to go, Magnet.
If Burt Reynolds was okay, maybe Burt Reynolds was not there. Okay, you can get out of the shot. Now.
Yeah.
You
If
can
Burt
leave.
Didn't have his mustache.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's bang on.
Mm-hmm.
A
I saw
mustacheless.
my dad watches that Arizona car show that they have.
Oh yeah, with the crazy cars.
Yeah. And Burt Reynolds was there last year. Bert's not doing too well, Mikey.
No, but I mean, there was the hair pieces for a while.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on now. Does it still show black hair? Is it a
it's-
black mustache?
Yeah, but he's not really moving well, and they were selling the Smokey and the Bandit car, right?
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
so
that
they
makes
had to
sense.
bring him
Yeah.
out there, and
Yeah.
and when I say they had to bring him out there, I literally mean they had to bring him out there because he wasn't walking too well.
Okay,
either.
well, and here's the other thing. The other day, Deliverance is on. Deliverance is on, and I watch it. Have you ever seen Deliverance?
No, I've seen parts of it, but you know what? I think I did watch it, but it was so long ago that I'm not sitting there recalling anything from it. That
I don't know if
is that a rewatchable movie though?
Oh yeah,
Is it? Okay.
yeah. Because if you're Ned Beatty, and I don't know exactly what happened there, but did he not see page 357 when it would probably say something like inbred molesters find you and force you to have pull your pants down and do prison things. Like here's the big song from it. Here we go. And this was weird too. The kid that played the banjo had a little bit of and Martin Short has played this, by the way, and he does a pretty good job of it. Okay, now it's falling on me. Nice job. There we go. Well, I was going to play it, but anyway, yeah. Burt Reynolds was cool back then. That was when he was like the man. He was a football player. He was a star football player too. He actually played ball at university.
You know who does a good Burt Reynolds? Norm
Norm
Macdonald.
Macdonald. Yeah. Now this computer's completely frozen. That's great. What a piece of garbage.
Cannonball Run and Smokey and the Bandit are the two that the people are
What are
talking,
you talking
about right now.
Cannonball Run was the crazy one that had all the car chases.
Yeah.
See, I'm just not a car chase movie guy.
So
It
you,
was
okay,
not
so you
my-
didn't watch the Dukes of Hazzard?
No.
Oh, come on,
no.
you
Isn't
did
that where the guy's
so.
name? Isn't that where the guy's name was Anus?
Yes, the
Okay.
cop.
Well, I gotta be honest. Right there, off the show.
And Boss Hogg
Oh, yeah,
was the guy that was in charge of the county.
The Dukes or whatever. I mean,
That's
that was
damn Dukes.
Yeah, that was not my thing. I
Uncle
gotta be honest.
Jesse,
No. What?
who kind of looked like an older version of Coach Frank.
Okay. We were talking about things that might are not going well. We
No.
mentioned Bill Cosby.
Yes.
What about if you're a Jets fan?
Well, it's a different sort of things aren't going well in a sense of they're tearing down. I don't know. Let's just make the comparison of they decide to tear down what was a decent size building for no particular reason and go after one of the star quarterbacks of next year's draft.
I mean, they are. Oh, is the song come on now? As you're talking?
See, a lot of people don't realize this with the two moves that they made recently. That's just 2 of like 10 so far, because all the other moves were made in the last couple. This might be the worst team in the NFL. And yes, I'm looking at you, Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
They might be worse than the Cleveland Browns.
Here's a question: if Johnny Manziel was available,
No, I don't.
and
I
you're in the
don't.
CFL,
No,
if you're in the CFL,
okay.
if you're in the CFL, do you take Johnny Manziel? Do you take a flyer on him?
Yeah,
I
you
don't
do.
even know where he is. He might even.
100%.
I don't know if he's even in rehab.
I don't know what he's doing. Yeah, he could be somewhere in Vegas in a poker tournament.
Because I'm thinking, yeah, Vegas would not be good for him.
No, you wouldn't.
No, I
but
don't
he's
think
the
he
kind of guy
wasn't.
that would go there anyway, right?
Yeah.
Oh, flyer on Johnny Manziel.
Yes.
You have 100%. You bring him in there and you march him out to every single event and to advertise your team and like a team like the Argos.
Yeah, and see,
That would be
and
huge.
people get pissed off when you say that. But the reality is, and so you've got Ricky Ray is your number one. Willie is your number two. So
yeah.
you've got a lot of money in 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah, you can
and,
only put one on the field at once.
and how many people in Toronto is that a conversation? If you ask them, they might get Ricky Ray, but I don't think they're getting Willie.
Yeah.
I just think that it's a point now. If you're looking at the CFL, you're looking at football in Toronto. I really think you need to do something. Now, I'm not saying that Johnny Manziel is that answer.
By the way, the Hamilton Ticats hold his rights.
Well, they got Zach Claros,
And they're not going to replace Zach Claros anytime soon.
I think they're pretty happy.
There's certain teams too, Mike, in the CFL. Like, and I'll just be blunt. They're true CFL towns where the Johnny Manziel thing probably doesn't fly. It doesn't. Like
I don't think so.
I'm sorry, but there's other teams where you want the attraction. Like when Doug Flutie came into the CFL, it made a lot of sense for the BC Lions to bring him up because at the time they were struggling at the gate.
Yeah.
They had, I think it was Murray Pesum who was
It
the
was
owner
the
at the time.
Pez. It was the Pez.
Yeah, so he was a little bit out there, and he wanted to, so he brought him in. And I got to be honest with you, as a Bomber guy, when the BC Lions came to town with Doug Flutie and Mark Gastineau, who was one of my all-time favorite
It's a big
Jets.
deal.
It was a big deal, and the guy stunk. Doug Flutie was a Hall of Famer here. Mark Gastineau was the exact opposite. He was slow. He was fat. People were blocking him easily, like he didn't fit into the CFL.
It wasn't the sack exchange at that point.
No, it was just a sack. And it wasn't like a sack as in you're sacking the opposition quarterback. He was a sack walking around.
Like an old man sack.
Yeah.
That you see in the gym. Why do they have to dry it so much? Why do they buff themselves like that? Because I don't know what happens when you get older. Does it get bigger? Because I'm going, you got basketballs in there? God damn it! I don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable. It makes me uncomfortable. But I remember the particular game where before Doug goes to Calgary, there's a game in BC.
He was awesome in Calgary.
When the Rocket goes there.
Yes.
And the place was packed.
Yep.
And that's when I'm thinking, oh my God, I love it. I mean, look, you're talking to 2 guys who love the CFL, have grown up with it. But when you work in Toronto, the moment you start talking about CFL, people are like, what are you talking about? Like it gets cringy and it gets very difficult.
When the Argos were owned by Bruce McDonald, Wayne Gretzky, John Candy, that was some of the heydays of the Argos in the recent decades.
That
I know
was one of the best.
It was awesome, and everywhere they went, it was a traveling roadshow. I actually went to the '91 Grey Cup, where
the beer can throw.
The beer can throw, exactly.
Yeah, sure.
It wasn't me. And where they beat Danny Barrett and the Calgary Stampeders at the time, because it was a Calgary Toronto. It was an awesome game, cold as hell, But John Candy was there, Wayne
Oh.
Gretzky was there, Bruce McNall was there.
Alan Thicke used to hang around those
Yes.
guys because they were all buddies.
It
That
was a-
was a
it was
crazy time.
It was a big deal.
Yeah, John would go. I remember in Edmonton, he was. God bless him. My God, you talk about the people that you miss.
Yes.
Even just saying John Candy, I think everyone goes, oh, it still hurts a little bit. Going around in that fire truck that Edmonton always had, chucking footballs, throwing footballs out to the crowd. He loved it. You know, you talk to guys like Dave Thomas, you know, of Second City fame, SCTV. And he said, you know, there was a character, the guy that became Johnny LaRue, which everybody loved,
Yes,
SCTV.
yes.
He said that was based on a guy that he was called Johnny Toronto. He called himself Johnny Toronto, and that's kind of where Johnny Toronto comes from. And he said when he was able to be on the sidelines in, at then the Sky Dome with all those people in there, and Matt Dunnigan's the quarterback, and the whole thing's going on. Pinball is there. That he said he was Johnny Toronto. He was just glowing. But it's so funny during that Grey Cup game when you watch when John's getting interviewed. Two things are going on. Number one, I think Mr. Rye had shown up somewhere. It's like it was like minus 30. And so he could barely talk. So his lips were kind of frozen. He goes, well, you know, oh, geez, the guys are really going out there trying to pretty. Like it was, he could barely. It was like when he used to imitate Daryl Sittler. That's what it looked like when he was doing that. He did a skit, and that's kind of what it looked like. But there's one of the, you bring back that moment, you'd start talking about that. Oh my God, that was such a great time.
Got a great message here from Ryan, one of our longtime listeners and watchers. Hey Ryan, he writes in and says he's a former Argos employee, right out of school, working for Sherwood Schwartz at the time.
Oh wow!
And then he says his job was selling group tickets. And he says, I've never been told to F off more in my life
would
for
do that?
making
Seriously?
cold calls to sell tickets.
Oh my God, that's brutal. Seriously? Like you call up IBM or something, go, hey, it's Ryan from the Argos. Fuck off. Really?
Seriously.
That's brutal. Okay. Speaking of football players, something that we talked about yesterday briefly. Maybe that's what Colin Kaepernick's going to have to start doing.
You know what?
How about Colin Kaepernick in Toronto? Let's get that going. Come on.
I don't know if he's smart enough to read it.
Yeah, just by the way, in Canada, I wouldn't be kneeling during the national anthem either.
No,
You better
no.
be saluting.
Yeah, you better be standing on a ladder.
Yeah, you better fucking be singing that song if you come here and doing that. And there's French as well.
in both languages.
Yeah, I was going to
gonna say.
Although that's, I wouldn't have a chance at that.
Yeah.
I don't know when it changes because a bunch of hosers like we are is like, oh, kind of, and then well, just wanna be like all of a sudden you fade. You just fade.
Best national anthem.
yeah.
Guy in Vegas.
Oh, Dennis Casey Parks.
I knew you'd remember.
Oh God, that was the cheesiest and worst. I mean, that guy. I don't even know. See if you can find that, Russell, because he sings the Canadian national anthem like "Oh Christmas Tree." I didn't even think that was possible. He didn't know the melody, so he just gravitated towards one that he knew. Now, why "Oh Christmas Tree" would be the thing that comes into your collective, I don't know. But
don't these people practice this?
But many I went out to that NHL All-Star game, the first one they had in Vancouver when they had their new building.
Okay.
You'd have to put "Oh Canada," probably Dennis Casey Parks, Vegas. Dennis Casey Parks.
That was
Yeah, there it is. There it's and he had the full-on cheesy, weird Vegasy like what Siegfried and Roy, whichever is the. Here we go. Okay, here we go. This is just terrible.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love, in all thy sons' command.
I beg your pardon.
With
Here it
growing
comes.
hearts we see thee rise, the true and strong and free.
Here comes the old Christmas tree part.
From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Oh, that is just fucking fantastic.
From
Look at that empty stadium.
far
Look at how-
and wide,
Oh,
O
Christmas tree.
Canada, we
I think-
stand stand on
ouch.
guard for thee.
Well, there are a couple of notes missing in there. That's okay.
Yeah, the
All right,
occasional
that-
one.
That's all right, boy. I hope anyone who's with the Oakland Raiders is going, holy shit, don't get him.
I guess we know we're not getting for
and
game one.
Let's hope we have a better stadium than that.
A little bit, eh?
That was
A
Anthony
little bit.
Calvillo's team, by the way.
You know what? I was going to say there's two things that I'll always remember about that. Well, maybe a couple things more than that. The posse, which some people count as a racial term in these days.
I guess now you
I
would.
guess, yeah.
Not in the day.
And Anthony Calvillo, who's arguably one of the greatest quarterbacks in CFL history.
No question.
And playing football in 120-degree weather. Fahrenheit, which is ridiculous.
They would practice in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Like, that's just insane. Yeah, that was a bad one. But, like I said, Brian Adams, when I went to that to the All-Star game in Vancouver, the first game, that was when it was North America versus the world or whatever that format was. They did
Sure.
that.
There's been so many different ones. Like I still remember Rendezvous 87 in Quebec where the NHL played the Soviet Union.
Yeah, I remember, yeah.
East versus West, Canada versus the world, North America versus the world, Campbell Conference versus the Wales Conference. I mean, they've tried now it's 3-on-3 for the last couple of years.
Do you like the 3-on-3?
It's okay.
But see, you're never going to get a guy like me because I'm not real big on any.
Yeah, we don't watch it, Mike.
I'm not big on any of.
Mind you, I did bet on it this last year. So
here's Bruno going. We're going to get my Raw hat. It's not a toque. It's actually a baseball cap. Bruno. He said I'll wear it when I perform with Hot B Soul.
Ooh,
that's his band.
Like
Hot
that
B
name.
Soul. Yeah, okay.
Like
we
that
gotta go
name
see
a
him.
lot.
He plays in town too. I think Bruno's probably a pretty good player.
Well, Bruno
band.
should let us know, and then we'll advertise it, and we should get together a group setting, right?
I think is it I'm trying to think of the excellent Irish pub down here in Toronto that he
Not
plays
Finn
at.
McCool's.
No, like a real one.
Like a bigger one.
standalone. I'll think of it. It'll come to me.
Eh,
It's is it O'Brien's?
could be.
O'Brien, something like that. Anyways, he
I'm
plays it all
guessing
the
it's
time.
something.
Yeah,
O''
something.
something. Riley's, Brian's.
Oh yeah. Here's the other thing. So you're watching Smashville. You're watching all the fans go crazy in Nashville. You're watching the offensive lineman with the catfish.
Yes.
And we talked to Jason Blaine yesterday, country star, talked about what it's like being Canadian, watching Nashville go crazy, which he's kind of enjoying. And you just look at how it has captured at this very moment. At this moment, it's the biggest thing going in the state, which is something I don't think you could say beforehand. It's just an enormous event. They have really embraced this thing. And a part of it means that, a lot of celebrities have been going. So Marcus Mariota. Okay, a couple of weird things about Marcus Mariota. Number one, I'm an Oregon Duck fan, so I think this is awesome. I think he's great. Never touched alcohol. Is that what the story says?
That's weird.
Never drank alcohol.
I don't know if I believe that.
Yeah, and I never trust people who say that. They go, but no, I used to. I go, oh, okay. So, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like you robbed a bank and.
Yeah. See, Tennessee Titans quarterback Marcus Mariota is legal drinking age in the States, but doesn't plan on attempting it anytime soon. Mariota and the Titans offensive line recently took a Western Conference final game between the Preds and the Ducks, cheering for the hometown team. Preds advanced, blah, blah, blah. My teammates kicked back with a few drinks. Mariota opted out. I've never had a sip of alcohol in my life.
What?
He told the Tennessean. Let's see. Center Ben Jones bought a dead catfish and participated in the newfound tradition of throwing it on the ice. Mariota appeared to be appalled by his teammates' actions. Quote, catfish are gross, man.
Yeah. Well, here's a picture. I mean, if you've not seen what they do, if you're watching us on the YouTube channel, ronmacrichards.com, they're not the most attractive. There's the picture of the catfish. You got the picture of the catfish? Yeah. Okay. Don't hurt yourself, Russell. There we go. There's the catfish right there. They have the Nacho Libre style luchador Mexican wrestling mask. It always kills me when people will go. I mean, I applaud them. Trust me. I don't think they're Lugans. Well, okay. I do think they're Lugans, but I applaud them for their enthusiasm going to a football game or a hockey game, because I got to be honest. If I show up at Dave Bastel's house, I know that that's never going to happen. I know that he's not wearing the luchador mask and going.
Careful.
Hey, Mike, are we ready for the basketball game? No, Dave.
Not a word of a lie.
No.
Not a word of a lie. My brother was in Mexico about a month and a half ago.
Oh yeah.
He bought me a New York Jets luchador mask.
You're kidding.
I'm not. I swear.
Yeah, but I
I
can't
swear. I put it on, and Marissa got really upset with
Oh,
me.
it's
So
scary.
I took it off and threw it downstairs right beside my life-size Darth Vader, which she doesn't like either.
No, I wouldn't think so. And I wouldn't think your wife is particularly thrilled with the Jets mask. They might be wearing a lot more than just those this year.
I was gonna say.
The paper bags might be coming out. And guess what? They're doing it on purpose.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
I'm looking at it.
Eye on the prize, baby. Eye on the prize.
Yeah, so you're looking at it. So, okay, we just talked about the Blue Jays at the top of the hour. Do you really want to be competitive where you can maybe, just maybe, get a wild card? Or do you want to sit there and, depending on what you qualify as tearing it down, build something for the future? So if you're a Jets fan, you're like, okay, if we're not going to be close, and by the way, New England is in your division.
Yeah.
So
See
do
ya.
you sit there and go, okay, let's plan on something for the next 4 or 5 years, so let's lose tomorrow.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And my futures bet with the Patriots going over an 11.5 wins is looking better
Oh,
and better
I think so.
because they've just solidified 2 right there within the division. I think they have actually 6 within the division because I would be surprised if the New England Patriots don't sweep the Dolphins, Bills, and Jets, but that's another story. You know what? I look at this as their goal is a franchise quarterback, and there seems to be 2 and a possibility of a 3rd quarterback that will go in the first 4 to 5 picks. Their competition, of course, the Cleveland Browns, the San Francisco 49ers, and who knows what that surprise other team is going to be. I think the Jets are worse than these teams. So I think, they have to kind of figure out where they're going, and hopefully you make the Peyton Manning decision and not the Ryan Leaf decision.
Well, and it's
because
and trust me, Dave, I think sometimes people believe that it's clear cut that you can see that. I think it is always a 50-50 proposition when you start talking about quarterbacks and how good they're going to be coming from the collegiate level and playing pro. Because, I mean, what is it, Deshaun Watson,
Yep.
right? You would look at that tendency and think, okay, if he gets in there, he's got a chance. But still, he's up against guys on the other side of the ball, men, angry men, who are going to disguise everything they can, things that you have never seen, and not to the level of these. These are the best of the best. Even when you play what is considered to be a lower-level team in the NFL, maybe it's the worst team.
Yep.
They're probably still better than anything you have ever seen. So there's no given that you're able to look down, read the offense quickly, because now the position of quarterback, and I've said it 100 times, so it'll be 101. I believe that playing quarterback, especially at that level, is the most difficult position in all of sport to play. Because not only is it just so think of the athletic attributes that you kind of need to play that position. Now think about the fact that you need to know when you look at that wristband with 9,000 plays on it, that you've communicated everything to these guys. They understand what's going on, and now you look over the line and you are reading that defense that you have either then called the right play or, guess what, audible.
Bingo.
And you get all what? This is all happening in 30 seconds or less, but when you snap the ball, it's like less than 2 seconds now.
So can they make that? Because you're right. There's guys that have crumbled under this kind of pressure and this kind of
good athletes too.
And it's almost like, and then there's been people that it's taken a couple of years, and then there's the odd few that it just clicks.
Well, Peyton Manning is the computer with tennis shoes. He was definitely not the best athlete on the field.
No.
But he probably was the smartest. And he might be considered to be the smartest of all time. I'm not getting any arguments on who's better, because I know there's a lot of Brett Favre love, but you can talk about Joe Montana. You can talk about who has more Super Bowl rings and MVPs than Tom Brady. Whether it's Steve Young. I mean, there's a list of guys. And, of course, if you're looking at Johnny Unitas, the people idolize for. I mean, there are a lot. But the mindset and the way that Peyton Manning is able and was able to look and figure out what to do all the time in almost perfection. There was a symmetry to what he did. That's how the game is. So you better be a cerebral guy. That's all I have to say. You are not going to be able to get away. And this is the problem about predicting whether a quarterback is going to be successful or not. If you're the best athlete on the field at the University of Texas, or let's say in the Big Ten or the Big 12, or even the SEC, so it doesn't mean anything, Dave, once you go pro. Because it's not about you being the best athlete. It's about you being probably the smartest athlete. Now, if you get a combination, so we talked about Russell the other day in Seattle.
Yep, Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson.
No, don't make the mistake of Russell Graham.
Russell Graham, I believe, had no chance at ever being in this conversation.
I think that's fair.
But he'd be a tricky quarterback, though.
Tricky as in...
Well, I think he'd fake a lot of injuries and slow down, and then all of a sudden he'd come up and spike the ball when he's not supposed to.
That
Like,
is
why are you
tricky.
spiking the ball?
Would he go Kerwin Bell and spike it into himself?
Kerwin Bell.
Remember that? What a terrible name. Who sits there and says, you know what?
Okay.
Good name. We're calling him Kerwin.
Kerwin Bell also only outdone in terribleness by his mustache. I mean, he had the Mr. Mooney, or what do you want to talk
It was
about?
terrible.
It was the pencil-thin
Yeah,
mustache.
like he could have been, you're right, he could have been on Ferris Bueller's Day Off as the assistant principal or the vice principal.
Boy, that guy got the bad end,
Oh,
too.
did he ever? Well, that guy was a creep, too. That guy was probably hanging around Bill Cosby.
Well, here's the thing. When people start talking about, he's a registered pedophile or something.
Yeah.
And I go, well, what's he look like?
Another piece of garbage.
Well, do you remember the principal on Ferris Bueller? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, isn't that terrible? That you can actually predict it going, holy shit, you look exactly like a pedophile. Well, I'm not. You are. I know you are. What a bad. Oh, that was a terrible.
It was a terrible look.
And he always played. And again, he had the pencil thin mustache.
Yes. Don't trust that pencil thin mustache.
Yeah, I think
And
that's
who does that these days?
I don't know.
I haven't seen it in a while.
Well, no, because it's beard.
You know what I saw?
Beard mania.
You know what I did see the other day that was kind of cheesy? I never called him on it because I didn't want to look like a complete ass, but I couldn't stop staring. I'm sitting there with Marissa and we're going to the Home Depot. I see dude with curly mustache.
Oh, yeah. Well,
It's like Raleigh Fingers.
Yeah.
Raleigh Fingers pitched in the 80s, not in 2017.
Let's say, for instance, Massimo Capra, who I think is going to come on the show. You know,
Okay.
the famous chef, right? He's got the
Does
wax
he?
turtle. Yeah.
Gee.
But you're a famous chef. You own
So
restaurants.
So I guess you're allowed to do
Yeah,
that.
Okay. Here's what you're allowed to do when you're famous.
Can I ask him about that? Why he does that,
Sure
or
you
do you
can.
think I'm going to look like a dick?
No, who cares? It's raw Mike Richards. You're allowed to ask whatever you want. You can ask him, hey, do you got a big sack too? I'm just curious. Is the sack big? If you're famous, you can do it whatever you want. If you're Austin Matthews and you go into the tattoo shop and they say, holy shit, it's Austin Matthews.
Yeah.
Like, hey, bro, what do you want? Do you want one of those? You want a maple leaf on your shoulder? Do
No,
you
he's
want-
going to be in Arizona in a couple of years, so why would he get that?
He's going to go, nope, that's not what I want. I want a giant lion. I'm sure you've seen this. If you're watching the show, you're taking a look at what he's got right now. Good choice, bad choice. I mean, I'm talking to the ink people. If you got a tattoo,
Well, okay.
is this good? Is this something that you're walking in and
I think it looks completely stupid, but as far as the artistic value, it looks great, but put it on a canvas. If you like lions that much with crowns, I mean, this looks like Bailey, the mascot for the Los Angeles Kings. So unless he's trying to tell us something about moving to Los Angeles via free agency in the next couple of years, I don't know.
it's just you sit there and you're talking to him, and maybe it's the summer, and you're gonna be staring at this thing, going, "Did you like the Lion King?"
I mean,
was that
if that's your buddy, how much are you making fun of that?
well, didn't it cost like $5,000 or something like that?
Well, it's outrageously professional. Like this guy, at least he didn't go to his neighbor to do this, right? I mean, this is actually like it looks phenomenal, but to put it on a body part is
but you're not
phenomenally.
and I don't think you're a tattoo.
I'm
guy.
not a tattoo guy, but I respect that.
Well, I got where the hell is mine? I got one. I got one right there. There you go.
Yeah, but that's nothing.
That's the yin and yang, simply because it's what is the if you can see that.
yeah.
Can you see it on there?
Can we see that?
I don't know. It's that fight that what is the good versus the evil, and I
Yeah.
can tell you the thing should just be black. I
Right.
usually have like a black circle on my shoulder because the good in me almost never wins. You know, that conversation is like, maybe the good will win this time. It's like, no, fuck off, you'll never win.
You're
You
gonna,
know? Yeah.
you're gonna go in
Yeah.
and shade in.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's like Bill Cosby. How often did the good angel on the one shoulder
no.
and the devil have that conversation?
No, that good angel took off
yeah.
decades ago. I mean,
Yeah,
really.
the devil's going,
Go ahead, give her the drink with the thing that makes her all frabbly blabbly.
like, I don't know. Poor Bill Cosby.
Man, I wonder if he adds to that too. Like some
But 60! 60 women! Like, where do you even find the time for that?
No, I'm talking about Austin Matthews.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't think he does any of that.
No, he doesn't do anything. But does he add to the tattoo? Because I mean, we might have. There's a possibility that we might have Brett Laurie in here in the next week.
That would be very cool.
Now Brett
And
Laurie,
he's got sleeves.
He has sleeves, and some of it's all over the place. It's a road map. It's almost like looking at Google Earth because
find one of those.
You kind of
Russell,
don't.
while you're
You
doing
kind of
nothing.
don't know where you're going with it. I mean. With Austin Matthews, it's just the line with the crown, but I mean, some of the art on sleeves is like remarkable. It's all like I would like that for myself if I had the option of taking it on and off like a piece of clothing. I think that would be really cool. But to have it on for the rest of your life,
Like-
I'm not signing up for that. And plus, it's expensive as hell.
I always think it's weird when, guys do it on their calves. I'm like, the girls go, you know what? I thought he was pretty good looking, and then I noticed he had a skull with a knife through it on his calf, and I thought, now I'm really into it. Now the calf,
Yeah.
the calf tattoo,
Yeah.
really has me going.
Seal the
I've
deal.
Never understood that. Or guys, and I've seen it in women too, where it's the barbed wire around the bicep. You ever seen that? Guys who, and I thought, okay, that's kind of cool. If you're in your 20s or your 30s and you're ripped and you're doing stuff, that looks pretty good. But when Grandpa Russell has the little grandchildren and he's got the barbed wire around a saggy, translucent skin, kind of gross, white. Maybe the barbed wire choice around the bicep wasn't that good. So listen, we have a picture of okay, so it's pretty busy stuff. Almost looks like those.
And they keep on adding to it too, right? It's
Yeah.
one of those things where it's like,
that's Marcus Mariota.
Yeah.
There we go.
yeah,
There's,
Marcus Mariota
yeah.
doesn't know how to spell tattoo.
Oh,
No, he probably does.
No, he does. No, he's a smart guy.
is a
No, he's
smart-
actually, he is a smart guy. Now, Jameis Winston, I don't know. Maybe he can't. Well, no, we know what his tattoo says. And you're not supposed to say that anymore. Not funny. By the way, how desperate are you? This is actually Sharice Wright.
Okay.
So he comes out of USC. He's corner. I think he's drafted by San Diego.
Okay.
He plays in Baltimore. And now he's playing for the Bills. But he's, you want to show up on time, I guess. He lives in Chicago. Sharice Wright, and I don't know what his thinking was. He takes an 8-hour Uber trip from Chicago for a voluntary Bills practice. Number one, I hand it to the guy. Mm-hmm. I mean, how much did the Uber? So it's 550 miles. It cost him. So the trip, which began Sunday night,
Wait. Any coupon?
no coupon.
No
'cause he also-
coupon? Okay.
$632. Why are there Uber coupons? You get a coupon?
Yeah. Sometimes you get free ride for your first trip. I don't know if you're allowed to use it on a trip that's 550 miles. away.
$632, and then Wright also gave the driver a $300 tip.
Now, traveling in the States is truly remarkable, as we know, compared to Canada. Flights sometimes cross continent, cross countries.
for $930. Like if you get like the cheapo discount
Yeah.
flights from O'Hare, right? So from Chicago to
and there's a downtown airport too in Chicago.
well,
There's-
so he left at O'Hare, so he's at the airport.
Oh.
So wouldn't you think, Sharice?
Yeah.
Hello, planes. We have many planes. I mean, they go those discount flight things. Why wouldn't you just hop on a plane?
If-
It probably was. It was definitely not $1,000.
And
not 8 hours.
A plane ride from there to there, I'm guessing it's under $200. Under $200.
And it would take what, 45 minutes?
Not even.
And he's like, no.
Or you could have, you know what? If you want to do it Greyhound probably could get you there for like $99.
Just like
I just don't know
planes,
if you want.
trains, and automobiles.
I just don't know if you want to do that.
Flintstones. Meet the Flintstones. Oh, I don't know. Do you ever travel on a bus? I've only done it once, I think, to Peterborough.
Yeah,
and that was way too weird. That was it for me.
I did it a couple times. My longest trip was we were playing in a football tournament in Saskatoon, and I traveled Edmonton to Saskatoon via Greyhound, just because it was like $49. And I thought, okay, well, it was long, and the people and the smell of a bus.
But see, it's the smell.
The smell
It's the
sucks, and
smell.
you're trapped.
Yeah.
You're trapped on a bus. So, yeah, I'm not doing it anytime soon. You know what I do like doing that's underrated? Train. Training's
pretty
fantastic.
cool. Training's very good.
The times where I've gotten a
Yeah,
chance
Via
to
Rail sponsored the show. Don't be so cheap.
Bingo. When I've gotten a chance to travel Toronto, Montreal for hockey games, I wouldn't trade anything for that trip as far as car or plane or anything like that. Montreal, the airport's a little bit out of town, so you got to drive into the city. The Via Rail will stop one stop away from the Marriott, which is basically across this street from the Bell Center. So that like everything was there and it was perfect. And if you catch it at the right time, you get a fantastic price. And it's actually fun, and you upgrade to first class too because you get the free internet, food, and all that kind of good
Well,
stuff.
okay,
I
so-
can't recommend it enough.
It's cool. Back in 2001, so that's when here in Canada they attempted a national sports network called The Team, and so we're based out of 1050, and we go to the Grey Cup in Montreal. So that was Winnipeg and Calgary. So that was Kahari.
Don't remind
was
me.
Kahari
about
Jones'
that.
team.
The Bombers were supposed to smoke
So,
them that
yeah,
year.
yeah.
Dave Ritchie was the head coach.
That's right.
My favorite head coach of all time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's sad, man. I gotta go.
No, see, now he's upset. Now he's upset.
Oh,
But see,
man.
here's the funny thing. So there we are, and I'm
Calgary was a 500 team.
there's me and Paul Romanek. So me and Romy, and we get in this thing, and doing the afternoons, you had Jim Van Horn, you had JVH.
You got it.
We went on the particular car where it said, "All you can drink," like it's all inclusive or whatever.
Yes.
Well, he didn't know me that well at the time, so I'm back there with the gang.
Yep.
And he's a couple seats in front of us. And, of course, it's the nice girl from Via Rail. And she's like, hello, bonjour, comment allez ce soir? Welcome, bienvenue, Via Rail. Would you like a drink or something? I'm like, yeah, I'll have a...
Okay, you don't talk like that first.
No Ryan Ginger. We don't... All right, just do Ryan Gingers. Okay, monsieur. So she gets all the drinks, everyone has a beer, and then she goes to the thing. She comes back. JVH is kind of looking at the side, like, what's going on? She comes by like 5 minutes later and going, yeah, I'll
Have another.
I don't know. So, well, I just dropped them off for you, and we have a thing. And I said, yeah. And the thing is called All You Can Drink.
What?
2 more. So she's like, okay, monsieur. Anyone else? And then the guy's, yeah, we're not gonna be, and Romy's going, this is good.
Does this look like a man
this
who
is-
has had all he can drink?
Yes, yeah. So she goes back. She comes back again. Like just literally seconds later, gulp, gloop.
Well, you can imagine what the glasses
They're
probably
tiny.
looked at.
They're tiny.
Yeah, it's like a half mix.
It's like when you the little wedding crappy
Completely,
glasses, right?
completely.
So that's why I and then JVH is going, good Lord, man, what's going on back here? Hey, turn around if you're not part of the party. You're wrecking everything, Jim Van Horn. I know that well all the time, right? He's just looking at these Lugans. They at some point she just said no. I said, yeah, but you said it's the price. It's like an all-inclusive vacation. You don't go down to Punta Cana.
Bingo.
And then 3 days in, Ramon says, oh, I don't think you can have no more. No, yeah?
No, Ramon, you're wrong.
No, but I think you have a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, now you have a problem, Ramon.
Do
Daddy wants a drink.
On road trips, do you think Russell would be our Ramon?
No, I think there's evil in there.
Oh,
I don't
really?
I don't trust Russell Graham at all.
really? I don't know.
He's like, oh, gee, guys, see, we're an all-inclusive. And then you got to know someone goes missing. It's like Dexter. His room would be covered in plastic.
Would it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I was a big fan of Dexter.
Yeah, Dexter. Yeah, you were just doing a fan that he's still alive, and I was.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. More killing for the bad people.
Hurry up, Dexter. Return to TV soon.
There's very few.
And make it good. Make it like season 3.
There's very few good serial killers, I find,
Well,
in history.
yeah, I know.
When you look at
you're right.
the profile. I mean,
But man, that was some of those seasons were phenomenal.
and no, okay, here's the weirdest thing.
The
though.
last season kind of sucked at the end, though.
The Trinity one was the best.
Yes,
that was the John
that's
Lithgow.
season 3.
Yeah, that was awesome. But before I'd seen the show though, and kind of knowing a little bit about that part of the world, I know it's a big surprise there. I understand the world of serial killers. That he looked, and they picked an actor who looked like way too much like Jeffrey Dahmer. Like, and I'm trying to think who the actual name of the actor is. It's Michael something, isn't it? Or
Yeah.
Michael,
Oh,
whatever. I don't even know
jeez.
who
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
like 3 words. It's
Yeah.
Michael something something.
Yeah, if you're gonna be an actor, why? Like, I don't know. Every time I hear that like, it's 3 names, it's just too much.
Yeah.
Like you didn't go as David.
Jay Bastel. No.
Yeah.
No.
No. What's his name? It's Michael something
Yeah.
or something. Michael
Michael C. Hall.
There
Michael
you go.
C. Hall.
Michael C.
Okay,
Hall.
why do you got to do that? And then they go, well, there was another Michael Hall. Don't lie. You just
And
do
the
it 'cause you
C
think it
stands
looks
for
good.
cat.
Yeah. And the C stands for killing. Yeah. Okay. Well, not really, but yeah, Dexter was good. And Better Call Saul. I got to catch up on those too.
I haven't dug into that, but that's one of those ones that you could, start the season and go. I'm still in the middle. My next accomplishment. Yeah, this is a great accomplishment. I got to catch up on Homeland. I'm only on season 3.
Oh, really? Seriously?
Yes. And see Homeland.
I love Homeland.
I loved Homeland. What is it now? 6?
Well, I missed the last one, I think. I
Okay.
haven't caught the last one because it's
Okay.
on Showtime in the States, I want to say.
And it's on Super Channel here.
Yeah, you've got to get Super Channel
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen that.
But you know what? Oh, so I got Super Channel. Here's a big complaint. I get Super Channel. I go into the archives and it's like, well, here's season 6. It's like, no. I want seasons 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And why isn't that on there?
I never understood how they do that stuff.
That's garbage.
It-
and with other ones, there is. Like I go to Entourage. Like I've seen all of Entourage. So it's no big deal. But I flip up Entourage. It has like 7 seasons. It's like, great. I don't need to see it. I want to see Homeland. That's
Yeah.
why I bought the channel.
I don't know. Oh, isn't there one else in French? Isn't it like a souple écran or something like that? I'm like,
I'm not familiar where you're going.
look, just call it Super Channel. We all know what it is.
Yes.
You don't have to Frenchify it for us.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of Frenchified.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, we're getting a lot of House of Cards.
House Cards is excellent.
Okay, that's
Beautiful.
You're getting a lot of love for both Better Call Saul and Homeland.
Huge.
And Ballers season 3 is starting soon. I know
Oh,
that
I can't wait
it's
for
part
that.
of the July sweeps. I know that. And then there's something else. I'll
who's-
remember it as we go.
Okay, so you remember last year that won all the awards? It was the OJ, the verdict. I think it was.
That was good.
The John
OJ
Travolta?
versus the People. Yeah.
OJ versus the people.
Yeah.
Okay.
John Travolta was a little over the top, but I mean,
When he was, what was he, Robert Shapiro?
yeah, and by the way, anybody that watched OJ wasn't 5'9" and 130 pounds.
With a
okay?
scratchy voice.
So I'm just saying, OJ was a monster of a running back. Right from college onto the Buffalo Bills and the 49ers and everything else. OJ was a monster. But as far as that show is concerned, phenomenal. And if there's a better rendition of an imitation of a character in Johnny Cochran,
Crazy.
Johnny Cochran was. I thought it was Johnny Cochran.
But the one who
Johnny
played
Cochran's died though.
the played the woman too. The
Marsha Clark.
Yeah. Holy crap.
My
She was
wife,
freakishly
yeah,
good.
my wife and I couldn't stop watching that. That's how good. Like I wish there was like 20 episodes of that.
But in the casting of it, and this is what so Cuba Gooding Jr. We all know who he is, and we know him for all the different roles.
Yeah.
And mostly Show Me the Money.
Yeah.
So to put him as OJ makes no sense. I would have gone.
No, it
I would have
doesn't.
found
It
somebody.
doesn't.
Even if you can't put Denzel in there, but if you put Denzel in there,
Oh.
I might be buying it a little bit.
Yes.
But I'd find a no-name guy, and then when you go with John Travolta as Robert Shapiro, and
yeah.
he's going. Well, quite frankly, OJ, I think what we need to do is hold a press conference, and I will direct that. I'm like, okay, no, yeah, and I will say to them, up your nose with a rubber hose. Like I just don't. You shouldn't have done that. Okay, but also I think that what's going to win, and people.
Well,
go,
he was also part of the producing staff, right? So he basically cast himself.
that's the best way to do it.
Yeah,
Dave.
it is. It is.
Show's called RawMikeRichards.com.
Guess who's a star?
Yeah. Hey, look at that logo back there. By the way, people asking me what this is. This is the Blade tape that we talked about.
Actually, we have gotten a couple comments about that, wondering what that was.
So it's True Sports is the stick.
Yep.
But there's your Blade tape right there. And beautiful done. Like we're getting more and more stuff that's coming in. Bruno wants the hat. We got the mug stuff.
Yep.
Nothing actually available right now.
With time, folks. Yeah. So basically, that is the tape replacement. So when you're sitting there taping up your sticks, where it takes you some time, you just put that nicely on the front and the back. It has a really nice stitchy material as well, especially for the hand grip on the top. I can't recommend it more. When you're sitting there holding the stick, it's better than tape because it has a little bit of extra grip. A lot of times when you're taping the top of your stick, you'll double tape it to give yourself the grip. You don't have to do it with this. And you know what? I'm glad they're on board, and we'll be talking about them and talking about the product much more as we get closer into the hockey season.
Also, before we let you go, I'm looking at my delicious parlay. Please win. Please. You ever do that? You ever plead with your bets? I do all the time. There's like, Who are you talking to upstairs? No one. Please, come on. So I've got the Warriors tonight, -2.5. I
Okay.
got that offshore.
I got the over at 225 and a
Yeah.
half. It's now up to 226 and a half.
Yeah, see, I don't know, but I just felt that, okay, under 3 points.
There's
I'm
going to
probably
be some
take it.
points scored in this game.
There's going to be a lot of points scored in that game. And then I have a litany of the soccer. By the way, tomorrow,
Yes.
a good friend of ours that we have not seen, I haven't seen in quite some time, Barry Davis, who covered the Blue Jays for I don't know how many years for Rogers Sportsnet.
I'm going to say 37.
37 years, Barry
Yep.
Davis.
Yep.
Also has a band called We Ain't Petty.
True.
So on the weekend, they had a gig.
Tom Petty.
So I saw it and I said, bring the guitar.
Yeah, why not?
I go, I want to see it.
Oh, yeah. I want him to go free
Yeah.
falling
yeah.
on us.
Yeah. That's what we want to
Won't
see.
back down. I want Mary Jane's Last Dance.
Okay. Yeah, those bang on. Holy smokes. Was Tom Petty just
Where's Tom Petty?
Tom Petty just show up?
Oh, wow. What
So
a guest.
let's pray for Golden State tonight. And I was going to show that picture of the what. Russell, you going to say something? You're very excited about something. What are you going to say?
I just wanted. Oh, there we go. Level's good.
Yeah.
I just wanted to give my brother
Oh!
a quick shout out.
Yeah.
for
So your
yesterday.
brother is
What's your brother's name?
My brother's name is Alex.
Alex Roast Beef. I love it.
Alex Roast Beef.
Just wanted to give him a quick shout out for graduating Brock yesterday.
That's correct. Yes.
What did he graduate from?
Was there for 5 years, concurrent education. So
'Kay.
going to become a teacher.
Grade point average.
Do they even do that?
I don't know what his.
He
I
graduated.
think he finished with like a 78% average.
Well, he's one of our guys. Then he's one of
Yeah.
us. I don't
Yeah.
relate to.
I was gonna-
I had a perfect 4.0 grade point, and
Go nerd yourself
beat
somewhere.
it. Is Alex ever going to join us here? Is he going to come by?
He might. He
Where does he live in the city?
right now he's still in St. Catharines working.
It's a great area though. Oh, wine country. Not hating it.
No, especially this time of year.
Yeah, and Brock. Yeah, we agreed on the thing. Like I know a lot of people like the cycling. You know, big bike people are you? You know, wearing the weird pants and the thing at the cross. I don't get it.
That's
It's
weird.
It's just the bike, the whole
Yeah.
look. I don't like it. But if someone's just going to go casually riding a bike, which is the only place that I think qualifies for someone like myself and Dave,
Yes.
wine vineyards.
And I've done it
Yeah,
too. My
see.
wife and I have done that.
See, that's
Stayed at a bed and breakfast.
Yeah.
Did the wineries with the bikes and it's awesome because there's everybody else is biking. And you know what else I'll recommend? And you're gonna think this is stupid, but I'm gonna tell you anyway.
right.
They have 2 different ghost tours. It's a ghost
at night. The
walk.
walking tour. I've done that. Did it in Kingston.
It's phenomenal.
No, I love it.
It's phenomenal.
No, I
And
don't think it's stupid. I don't.
I get into it, and my wife makes fun of me all the time. But we went to it the one time we were there, and I loved it. I thought it was great.
But just so you know, when it gets real scary, then I can see, some like my wife is afraid of everything. Look who she married. If I see her where one of they're dressed up in the gothy kind of garb,
Yeah,
and going,
yeah.
And then after the head was severed, he was never seen again. I'm the guy that goes up behind him and goes, "Ah! No!" So it's just like our honeymoon. All righty, shut her down. Yeah.
Ryan says he's a Brock Sports Management grad.
Oh, good.
So we got a whole bunch of Brock people listening to us today. And our buddy Malone said, Russell, I friended you on Facebook. So look for that.
That's 4 now.
I will.
So tomorrow, Barry Davis in studio. By the way, Friday, one of my all-time favorite comics, Andy Kindler. This will be about the 3rd or 4th time he's been on our show out of Los Angeles. One of my all-time favorites, and my God, is he funny. So let's cheer for the the Warriors, please. -2.5. It's not that much. I don't ask for anything. Actually, that's not true either. Thanks for watching and listening to RawMikeRichards.com. We'll do it again tomorrow. See you later.